So in this video we will discuss about geometric progression. So let us write the definition first. What is geometric progression? It is a sequence of numbers in which every term except the first one bears a constant ratio with its preceding term. So this is the definition. A sequence of numbers in which every term except the first one bears a constant ratio with its preceding term is called a geometric progression. Is called a geometric progression. Suppose the GP, geometric progression is denoted as GP. Okay, so GP series, suppose it is A, B, C, D like this. So this B by A equals to C by D. B by A equals to C by B equals to D by C. Okay, so this is constant and this constant is written as R. R is nothing but the common ratio of the GP, and A is the first term. So similarly there are some properties of geometric progression. Suppose if you multiply this GP series with a constant number, then that series will also be an GP series. If you divide it, if you find the reciprocal of the terms in GP, then that will be also be in geometric progression. Like these are the properties, I can say these are the properties of the geometric progression. So suppose if I write properties, so first one, if I write, let K be the term multiplied with A, B, C, D, then the progression will be like AK, BK, CK, DK like this, and clearly the ratio BK by AK equals to B by A equals to R. So this series will also be a GP series. This forms a GP series with common ratio R. Similar as before we have told, no, R is equals to B by A, C by D. So here K gets cancelled, so B by A is again your R, that is the common ratio. So this means what? If you multiply a GP series with a constant term, then that series will also be a GP series with the common ratio same R. Now if I write property number 2, it will be the reciprocals of terms in GP form a GP. Means before we have taken GP series A, B, C, D like this. So suppose the reciprocals, if I write reciprocals, will be what? 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C, 1 by D. This is our 1. So this is, now if you are asked to find the suppose a common ratio, here you are interested to find the common ratio. The common ratio is 1 by B divided by 1 by A, which is equals to A by B, and B by A is R, so A by B will be 1 by R. So this series will also be a suppose 1 by C divided by 1 by B equals to B by C, which is 1 by R. So this series will also be a GP series with the common ratio. Common ratio will be 1 by R. Now number 3 property is that if each term of a GP be raised to the same power, then resulting terms are in GP. Like the GP series we have taken so far is what? A, B, C, D, like this. Common ratio, comma R equals to B by A equals to C by B equals to D by C, like this. So here it is said that if each term of a GP be raised to the same power, then the resulting terms are in GP. Suppose if I raise the terms a to the power k, b to the power k, c to the power k, d to the power k, like this, then this series will also be in GP, and the common ratio like b to the power k by a to the power k equals to b by a whole thing to the power k, or c to the power k divided by b to the power k equals to c by b whole thing to the power k, which is nothing but r to the power k, which is r to the power k. So here the common ratio will be r to the power k. So these are the properties of geometric progression. Now what is geometric mean? What is that? So suppose when 3 numbers are in GP, the middle one is said to be the geometric mean between the other two. When 3 numbers are in GP, then middle one is said to be the geometric mean, means GM between the other two numbers. Okay, so suppose A, B, C are in GP. So this B is called GM, and we know the ratio of B by A equals to C by B, which is R, that is the common ratio, we know that. So B by A equals to C by B, this implies B square equals to AC, this implies B equals to root over of AC. So this B is nothing but geometric GM of A and C, and this way you can find the GM between any two numbers. So the main thing is that when 3 numbers are in GP, the middle one is said to be the GM of the other two. So these A, B, C are in geometric progression.